Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name is Dennis Den, and I'm here in studio with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dorian.
And on Skype, as always, we've got Caboose. How you doing, Caboose?
Doing good. Been playing a ton of Apex Legends.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that right now. This is the first topic, first big topic.
Very nice.
So, you put up a first impressions video. Have you been playing it all week?
Yes,
okay.
I've logged in a lot of hours.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know what Apex Legends is, it's basically, it's like the new Fortnite, I guess. Basically, the developer Respawn, the people who make Titanfall, and supposedly are making that Jedi Order game. They came out with a free-to-play game in the vein of Fortnite, but it's a first-person perspective, first-person shooter versus a third-person, and there's a lot of similarities and also differences to Fortnite, and it's a free-to-play game. They announced it the end of last week? Was that it? The end of last week?
They announced it this Monday.
This Monday, okay. My days are getting all mixed together. So they announced it Monday. They released it Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, and then everyone's been hopping on. You know, it has over 10 million players already in like a few days. Like, I'm sure the number's just growing crazy.
Yep.
So you've been playing a lot of it, right? A ton of it. And me and Doran just played a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
But why don't you give your impressions of the game overall, Caboose?
Well, yeah. So when I did my first impressions video, I only played I played a bit, but I only played so limited compared to how much I've played now and how much of an understanding I have of the game now. And honestly, my opinion might change down the road. It is the best battle royale game that's out there right now. It's better than Fortnite for me. It is so damn fluid. Here's the thing, okay? I love the Titanfall series. I was never addicted to them, but I would be the first one to tell you it's right up there with games like Halo and Destiny as one of the most fluid, smooth-running FPS games out there. Titanfall 2 is super underrated. So you take all the great gameplay aspects, the gunplay and the movement from Titanfall, minus double jump, minus wall running, and apply that to Apex Legends, it's so satisfying the way this game runs, the way this game works, and the way you move. It feels so fast-paced. The map is smaller than most Battle Royale maps, so they limited it to like 60 players rather than kind of your normal 100 players on the map. So that makes it a little bit better. The games are paced well. I love the system with the legends. You know, there's 10 different legends you can choose from that all have different abilities and super moves and all sorts of different things that they bring to the table. And it makes it so that it's very unique and no two people can pick the same legend in each game. So you have to have a well-rounded team if you want to survive. You can't just have 3 people picking whoever they want and you'll be good to go. You usually want a defensive character or a guy who's out there who plays as lifeline to heal you and stuff. It's so well thought of. Like, they thought of every single thing with this Battle Royale game, and they surprise dropped it on Monday. And other than a couple of crashes that I have had and a few bugs, it's freaking perfectly optimized. And I am so proud of the folks at Respawn for what they did with this. The only thing that bums me out is that from what I've heard at least, this is replacing what would have been a Titanfall 3.
Okay.
I know a lot of people out there are a little upset about that. And I understand. But if the game is well funded, if people support and back this game, we could get a Titanfall 3 down the road because of it.
Yeah, it's a money decision. I mean, the characters in here, they're doing kind of hero characters, much like Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's set in the Titanfall universe.
Yep.
So the graphics are more cartoony than Titanfall, but they're less cartoony than Fortnite, which actually, I told Dorian that actually appeals to me because Fortnite, I've played it. I'm obviously haven't played tons of time. Not that great. Suck at building stuff. But just from the get-go, this has got me more than Fortnite because one, the graphics are just appeal to me more. I think the first-person shooter aspect, I like third-person shooters, but I kind of like them more in that kind of RPG-ish realm, like
like a Division.
like a Division or a Mass Effect, or you know what I mean, like just that style, where as a kind of like an online battle royale, or you know, if there's some sort of team deathmatch mode or whatever, I prefer first
like
person.
Yeah, you'd rather it be first person. I got you.
Yeah. So when you talk about like the details, there's a lot of small details, like, you know, they have like the jump master from as you're flying, and like
I thought that was dope.
Like, and then you can relinquish it if you know, you don't feel, if you're not knowledgeable of the map and you don't know where it's just a lot of cool little tiny things like that. Selecting your character, they have an order of who gets to, you know, I think it's probably randomized.
It is.
Yeah, and then whoever gets to pick, but then you get a short amount of time, and then it hops to the next person. And it's just like these small, tiny details that make the game super smooth. It was much easier for me to pick up and start playing than it was for Fortnite. Because with Fortnite, just, you know, the whole building aspect, it was a little foreign to me. But Dorian, what are your thoughts on it?
I completely agree with you, especially with the little details, because one of the biggest things with me with Fortnite is I could see myself playing Fortnite when I'm like with a group of people, like me and Jack will play and go online, but I don't. That's the only time I really play. But when I do play, like the one issue I always have is when we do decide to jump out and have to like time where we're all landing to make sure we're all in the same spot, and I like half the time I'm always messing that up. So I really enjoy like the part where you can just, like you said, relinquish it to somebody else, and then it automatically will, if they pick the location to jump at, it'll automatically just take you guys. You don't really have to do anything like that. So it ensures that all y'all stay together. So I thought that was cool. And also, like you said, it has that Overwatch effect where the characters are different, and not two people can play at the same character. So I thought that was cool as well. But I could definitely see myself playing this one more by myself included, or with a group of people, but more than Fortnite. And I said it offline but a little bit, but it's not more adultish, but it feels like, I don't know, like I could see myself playing this more, and the weapons and the aiming are a lot better on this for me, because Fortnite I'm also like kind of trash at shooting people, especially trying to aim at them and stuff like that. But with this, you have more customizable features that allow you to like hone in and try to actually kill people with an actual gun. So I think that's one of the biggest features that will have me playing this more than Fortnite.
Yeah, and you're talking about the details, like during jumping. Yeah, you can follow the jump master, but if you want to, you can split off if you want. Like one guy did with you guys.
Yeah, and we had to come save his ass.
Yeah. Like, so in Dorian, I saw one of his squad mates just like decided to do his own thing, and then Dorian and the other guy had to go find him because he was getting his ass whooped.
We all ended up getting killed because of him. Yeah. So if you're watching, you fucked up. You know that.
I love too that there's a respawn system in the game.
Yeah.
So the way it works is, like, if you get downed and then you get full killed, like your death box, as they call it in the game, will stay on the ground for 90 seconds, and someone can come and, like, your teammates can come and recover you. And basically what that allows them to do is give you the opportunity to get respawned at one of the respawn beacons located around the map. The catch is, obviously, if you get respawned, you come back with nothing. You don't have any armor. You don't have any of the weapons that you previously did have. And the reason that I love this the most is because in any other Battle Royale game, if you're playing with a squad and you die from the jump and then your squad survives, you're sitting there for like about 20, 30 minutes doing nothing, you know, and it can bum you out. Sometimes it can even turn you off from wanting to continue to play the game. But at least here, there's always an opportunity, even if you fully get killed, that you can be brought back. There's obviously a risk and reward to it. If you do bring your teammate back, like a plane comes in, there's so much sound, and you can be very exposed. There's been a lot of opportunities actually where I'm playing and I see someone's getting revived or getting respawned, and I'm like, yo, let's get in on that. That guy's got nothing. We should just take out that squad easy. But no, it's just, it's so well put together. So many great mechanics added in here. The only thing that I'm hoping for at this point is they add in a solo and duo mode. So then, you know, you're not always holding on to the option that, you have to squad up. And then I hope that they add a stat tracker, because I'm up to like 30 wins, I think, in this game right now.
30 wins?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You gotta brag.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, I'm a brag.
How many kills do you have?
Well, okay, so I'm maining the Wraith character.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting close to 300 kills with her. And
damn, Caboose.
yeah, I want to be able to track that. I want to be able to know exactly how many wins I have, exactly how many kills I have. So I know that there's trackers you can get in game for specific characters, but I just want to know my overall stats. So I'm hoping that stuff gets added in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, me and Doran, to be fair, we only started to play like an hour before this podcast. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a total combined zero kill.
Yeah.
Donut.
It was bullcrap too, because one of the people that I thought I had killed.
Yeah, I thought you did too.
He was I guess he was one of the defensive, or he had some super shields on because I hit him. I was lighting him up, and then I ended up dying. But I one thing I still want to get used to, like I maybe do more training, is because I'm not used to, like with other battle royale games like like Fortnite, there's no like specifically designed character move or no ultimate move, so I never really got to test that out when we were playing. So I want to definitely try that once.
Yeah, you accidentally picked a medic in the beginning.
Yeah,
and his super move was a care package
to heal people, and care package. How is that a super move? That's a
for a medic it is.
I guess.
See, but that's where it comes into play of having like that squad of 3.
Yes.
You know, it's good to have a character like that who can drop in the care packages every now and then and get some people some good items and stuff. It's always good for like a well-rounded team to have someone pick the healer, but I'm never picking the healer.
We've got to respect the healers, because that's not a boring task, but it's just tedious in my opinion. I couldn't do it. I need to be lining people up.
Would you guys rather have squads of 4 instead of 3? Because when I saw 3, I thought, I thought a squad of 4 would have been more natural. But what do you guys think?
I like 3 because I think it works, again, just for the size of the map and the amount of players that are a full lobby. But I would like them to experiment to have a mode with a 4-player team, because I think it could be fun.
Yeah, like or maybe just the people I was getting, we just had crappy team members, because I never got to a point where if that one time I died, then usually the whole squad died. I never got revived or something. So maybe maybe 4 people can help spread the load, so not if everybody is getting taken down, somebody can at least save. But then again, that could have just been because we had crappy teammates.
I think the highest we placed was like number
11?
10.
You got like 10.
I got 9, but it was literally like 90% of the time we couldn't find anyone to fight, and then by the time we got to fight, I thought I had a kill too. But it was one of those big shield guys.
Bullshit.
Yeah, like Gibraltar. I kept tagging him, and nothing. He hits me once, and I'm like gone.
Caboose, do you think they'll add in? Because I know on the Black Ops one, they have vehicles and stuff like that. Do you think you can see them adding that in this one? Because there are cars in there, but they don't let you drive.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing I said in my first impressions video is, and it's going to be a little contradictory, right? So on one hand, I actually love that there aren't vehicles in the game.
Okay.
A lot of the characters move very fast, and because it's a relatively small map, just for the sake of pacing, when you have this is the problem with Fortnite is there's planes, there's an ATV, there's like a million different vehicles that help you get around the map super fast, and because of that, like 90% of the lobby is killed off towards the first 5 minutes of the game. Then that just leaves you looting and running around in empty space until it's like the last 2 circles. With Apex, I find that for the most part, at least for a majority of the games that I'm playing, there's a consistent amount of action throughout the game, and then by the time you reach the end, you're like, okay, we did it, like we got through all that, so I don't want there to be vehicles, but at the same time, it's set in the Titanfall universe. So, like, maybe we can get some Titans in there in some way, shape, or form. Maybe there can be, like, a limited time mode where a Titan drops on the map, and it's one team that can somehow get it's, like, the rarest item you can get in the game. And then, I don't know, they got to find a way to balance it, of course, so they're not as overpowered as they probably would be if it was just Titans against the normal people. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's a Titanfall game. And Titanfall is called Titanfall because of the giant mechs.
Yeah. Well, which is why they didn't call this one Titanfall.
Right, which I understand. But I think it still would be cool because it's set in that universe. And to have some way to have the Titans involved in like a limited time mode or something like that.
Yeah. So this game reached that 10 million mark in 3 days. Fortnite in comparison took 2 weeks. But to be fair, Apex Legends is jumping off of the success of Fortnite, right? People, Fortnite wasn't like immediate, like this big hit. Obviously, it was very popular when it first started, but like it didn't grow into the huge a massive hit it is now, which also helped Apex Legends. And also, to be fair, Fortnite was riding off of the popularity of PUBG, right? Yep. So like it's like Fortnite's jumping off of PUBG, Apex Legends jumping off Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's one of those things. Okay, so we talk about this game. Oh, one of the things too. Maybe you guys can tell me because I haven't played Fortnite in a while. Does Fortnite, like, what I loved about this was when you start picking up items, right? Let's say an armor or, well, less so a gun because that has different specs. But let's say an armor. If you see an armor in the game, it tells you like, oh, your armor's better than this, like right off the bat. And do they do that in Fortnite?
No, it'll say like there are different values. Like you can tell like if a weapon is better or worse.
Yeah, but you got to actually look at it.
Yeah, it won't say like, oh, this one is better than the one you have.
Yeah, you won't see that little cancel sign or anything. Yeah, I mean, at the same time with Fortnite, like especially when it comes to the shields, you know, like you can only have a maximum of 100 shield. You know, and there are specific items that gets you to that point. There's one that gives you 25 shield and you can only go to a maximum of 50 with it. There's one that gives you 50 shield. There's one that gives you 75. There's all sorts of different items in the game. And then, yeah, you kind of have to know what the rarity system is. So when you see a gold item on the ground, you know, that is the best version of whatever specific item that is there. So, I mean, I think it's fine in Fortnite, but I do like that there is that system implemented here in Apex Legends where if I go to loot somebody, I know, okay, I don't need to pick this up. I already have a better version of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's especially for someone who just started playing the game. It was very helpful, you know, like looking at like, oh, it says you have a better armor than this, or you're wearing the same one, so you don't need to pick it up. Just a little quick thing, you know, where it's like, okay, this is just it's like holding your hand a lot, on this stuff. So we're definitely going to play more of this game. Are we? It's weird, and we'll probably get a lot of shit for this. Are all three of us here in consensus saying that we like this game better than Fortnite? Like Dorian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that is.
I need more time to sit on it.
Okay.
I know some people like to complain about, oh, you play Fortnite. I think Fortnite's a great game. I think considering it's free to play and everything that they've done, you know, they threw a freaking virtual concert for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, and I do love Fortnite. I'm about to play it later tonight. I'm doing a tournament with some friends, so I play Fortnite plenty. But after playing Apex Legends for as much as I have, I'm having way more fun with that than I am with Fortnite right now.
Yeah, just Fortnite for me. I think I had fun playing it, but it never hooked me to the level that obviously millions and millions of other people have. This one hooked me right away. Like Jack's in my office right now playing it. Me and Doran, like, yeah, you know,
I'm gonna go home today and download it. Even it's 25 gigs, but I'm gonna download it and play it.
It's just more my alley. It's up my alley.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, it's interesting. Is it a Fortnite killer? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's too early to tell. And also, but it definitely, I feel it's gonna suck some of that attention people away. To what degree, I don't know. Just because maybe people love the third person perspective in Fortnite,
and they're constantly updating, riding the waves of anything that's going on in the media.
It can only mean good things for Apex Legends to be successful, because now at least finally Fortnite has some genuine competition. When Blackout came along for Black Ops 4, everyone was like, oh, this is going to be the Fortnite killer. But you still have to pay for the game. So, it was never going to be as big as Fortnite. And there have been plenty other Battle Royale games. Battlefield is going to have one coming soon that will never dethrone Fortnite. And I don't think Apex Legends will either.
Okay.
But at least it's putting a dent where we've never seen that dent before for Fortnite.
It'll be a bigger competitor than PUBG.
Yeah, than anything we've had before from the Battle Royale genre. We have a legit competition of Battle Royale games here, and that can only be a healthy thing. That means that the people at Epic are going to want to make Fortnite be better than Apex Legends, so they're going to find a way to improve and listen to the people, listen to the consumers, and the folks at Respawn will be doing the exact same for Apex Legends. So at the end of the day, we're the ones who win. So that it can only mean good things. It's the same situation with the PlayStation and Xbox war, or like the Marvel and DC war. When both of them succeed, it can only mean good things for the people who buy and who play and who watch this entertainment.
Okay. This is going to be a very interesting conversation to have 6 months from now, you know, because obviously this is very, very new. We're all on the high of it. We'll see if it continues and if they can update and progress the way that Fortnite has. Where Fortnite is, you know, constantly improving and changing things to keep things fresh for players. See if Apex Legends can do the same thing. So
and the Fortnite, and it seems like the Fortnite community is just it's not going anywhere. And like Caboose said, it seems like they'll listen and they'll keep taking what the people are saying. But like at the E3 event, like I didn't think Fortnite was all that or super big. But then we went to E3 and they had a whole
everyone was around it.
They had and then they had a separate event at that stadium, and I was like, all right. This is something serious. So it seems like it keeps growing and growing. So I'm excited.
Let's see that Apex Legends booth at E3 this year, and let's see what's going on with that. Let's see if the buzz is still there.
I'm very intrigued to see what they plan to do with esports for Apex Legends, because that's kind of what the next step was for Fortnite. We need to take this to a competitive scene, and apparently Respawn is very interested in doing that. I think they're already planning on adding a ranked mode to Apex Legends, which Fortnite for some reason still hasn't gotten on. So yeah, I'd be really intrigued to see what they got planned for esports, if they have anything planned.
Yeah. So this is a game we'll keep playing, keep talking about, and let's see how it goes. All right. Let's move on to the next subject. We've got Metal Gear Solid director Jordan Vogt-Roberts and Norman Reedus talk about Death Stranding, which is, you know, the highly anticipated next game from Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear Solid fame. So Jordan Vogt-Roberts, who we actually have had in studio here, he did some exclusive actually
with Frosty.
Yeah, with Frosty, which is actually on our YouTube channel, talking about the Metal Gear Solid game, or not game, the movie adaptation that he's working on. So he went in and played, and he tweeted out, so Hideo Kojima let me play Death Stranding. The world is next level immaculate. It's like freebasing pure Kojima in Shinkawa. Remember when Fury Road blew you away but also made you, in the most thankful way, ask what the F? How does this miracle exist? You are not ready. Also in an interview with Metro, Norman Reedus says, you know, this guy is a genius, Hideo Kojima. I'm like, oh, so they'll be playing me? And he's like, no, they are you. We will make them cry as you. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a video game. Like, so it's you know, it's one of those things where people on the inside are raving about it. Does this get you hyped up for this, Caboose?
Oh, big time. Hideo Kojima is probably, he will go down as one of the biggest icons like in video games with what he's done with Metal Gear and just everything he's had to contribute to video games. It will always be so impactful and so significant. And from what they've shown of Death Stranding, I have no idea what's going on.
No, I don't think anyone does.
It looks really cool. I am super intrigued. I'm probably still going to play through the story and still have no idea what happened, but I'm very excited to see everyone's kind of interpretation of the story and what they think of what went down. And yeah, Jordan Vogt-Roberts, he seems to be a huge fan of Hideo Kojima. He seems to be a huge fan of video games, which is why I'm very excited to see what he has planned for this Metal Gear movie. And yeah, this does nothing but excite me. The only thing that I'm still so bummed about, because I still have it on I have the original PlayStation 4 that came out on launch day. And I don't know if anyone remembers, but a little while back, Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus were teaming up to work on a Silent Hill game. And through that, they released a demo called PT. It was the playable test. It's this like 3-hour demo that's one of the scariest experiences you will ever play. Honestly, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this or seen it.
No.
It's terrifying. And then there was this huge falling out between Hideo Kojima and Konami. Yeah. And because of that, the game got canceled. So that demo got pulled from the PlayStation Store. If you still have it downloaded, though, it's staying on your PlayStation. So I have it. I have that demo still. And I play it from like time to time, close to Halloween time, just for the fun of it. And it bums me out that we'll never get to see that game fully realized. But if it means that we get to see whatever this epic that Death Stranding is, I'm totally fine with that. And yeah, this all these comments excite me.
Dorian, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have too many thoughts on this. I just know Jordan is a big, like Caboose said, a big fan of video games and trying to get that Metal Gear Solid movie off the ground. So if he's behind the scenes saying like, "Hey, this is going to be something fire, make sure to tune in," then I'm definitely gonna be right there once if we get an advanced review copy. I don't know. Companies don't. I don't know if we will or not, but yeah, if I will definitely be playing this because I'm a big fan of Norman Reedus, and if Jordan is hyping it up, then I'm in for it. I'm in.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things that everyone is looking forward to, but at the same time, not exactly sure what the game is really about, and even the gameplay itself. I mean, they've shown trailers and whatnot, but still, people are a little like, it looks cool.
But what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? So hopefully we'll get more news sometime soon or at E3. All right, moving on to a game which, may be dividing my time between Apex Legends, which is Anthem. Anthem released, we played the demo and we talked about it last week, but they released kind of a trailer, less of a trailer, as Dorian had pointed out before this podcast. More like a featurette, just talking about the end game content, the post game and content that's available. Showing that hey, once you finish the game, there's still plenty of stuff for you to do. Also, extra levels that you can hit beyond the normal. I think 3 or 4 that they have. Yeah. You guys check this out. So there's gonna have harder difficulties. So they have easy, normal, hard. Then they're gonna have Grandmaster 2, Grandmaster 3. So all the Grandmasters are only unlocked after you reached a level 30. Yep. Crafting, they're going to have contracts and legendary contracts in the post game. Let's see, daily, weekly, monthly challenges like most online games. Strongholds, exploring the world. So there's going to be a lot more to this game even after you finish it. We played the demo. We are all very impressed with the graphics, the gameplay. We're still, don't know about the story yet. But this just leads me to think, wow, they really have like a future plan to keep this game going beyond just what you're playing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna be playing this for a long time. Like just when I was watching that trailer when they were going through, and you'll be able to customize your different Jagger suits and do all that. I'm like, all right. And then leveling up and just like you getting your squad and being able to go through and kill like those big ass monsters. I'm so excited for this. This has been one of my most anticipated games, and just that trailer that made me even more hyped for it.
Yeah, and also loot, a bunch of loot that you get. Rare items that everyone's going to covet. Caboose, what do you think about this featurette, I guess?
This is what I wanted to see. Okay. So I knew there was going to be a story. I knew that there was going to be plenty of time to invest in Anthem. But I also know because of the way that they're structuring the game, that the plan isn't just for you to play it for a week, run through the story, and be done with it. The plan is they want you to be playing this game for a long, long time. So with that, you have to have content, very similar to what Destiny does. Every week there's a reset and you can get new loot. You can run through the end game content, the raids, the strikes, all that stuff is there. So they got to have stuff very similar to that in Anthem. And what they showed does look promising, but I'll tell you what. So they had a stronghold available in the demo. There was one stronghold that you could play through. And it was very cookie cutter. Okay. You ran through, you shot a bunch of enemies, and then there was a giant scorpion at the end that was just a bullet sponge. There was no mechanics. I think what I love about Destiny's endgame content, especially the raids, is there's puzzles and there's a lot of team-based activities where everyone's got to be firing on all cylinders and working together in order to complete those objectives. Otherwise, you're going to fail constantly. I hope in Anthem there is something at least slightly similar. I'm not asking for the exact same thing, but I don't want all the strongholds to be just shoot. There's a giant boss, shoot him a whole ton, and he'll die. I hope that the strongholds have some sort of uniqueness to them, have some sort of cool mechanics to them that make each of them different from one another. because the one that I did play, while fun, it's very bare bones. Yeah. It's nothing special.
I'm hoping what you're talking about is also in the in-story game.
Yes, agreed.
You don't want, your whole story to be, okay, I'm just shooting, which is fine. I think, if you're playing online multiplayer or whatever, because that's the point of it. Mm-hmm. Where this is like, okay, if they're telling you a story, they want you to do different things. And if they can do that in the in-story game, and then also with some of these extra post-game content, I think that would keep people coming back and back versus what you're saying. Yeah, if you're just shooting stuff, cool, that's fun, but eventually, you get tired of it because there's no PvP to this. This is straight up like you're just playing missions together with other people.
And I'm ready to unlock I saw on there in Caboose, I think you were playing with I don't remember if there's a specific name for the character, or the suit is where it's like more a combative suit where they're striking and being able to teleport and stuff like that. I'm so excited to get one of those.
The Storm?
Yeah, I'm so excited about playing with that character.
Yeah, all the Jaegers that you can use are what the javelins.
Javelins, yeah.
The javelins look so freaking cool. Oh my god, they all have really unique abilities. And I'd hope that down the line, maybe like if it's through DLC or something, that they add like another one, a fifth javelin that has all new abilities and a unique look and stuff. And yeah, I'm also excited for the customization as well. That's going to be
spend half the time pimping my suits out.
Yeah. A lot of my time in the VIP demo was just constantly going back into the Forge and like switching up the colors a little bit. I made an Iron Man and a War Machine javelin out of the Ranger that looked super sweet. There's one javelin that's like huge and kind of bulky, so I made him a Hulk Buster and stuff like this. There's really cool things that you can do with the customization. I'm just hoping that it isn't completely plagued by microtransactions.
Yeah. On a side note, speaking of microtransactions, this is kind of a related topic. Is how do you guys feel about this whole? Maybe we talked about this before, but just maybe it's getting more emphasized now because the launch is coming up very, very soon.
Yeah.
This whole like release earlier on EA Origin Access, where like if you're a member, you can pay for the game and start playing on February 14th, I think that is, and then everyone else is a week later. How do you guys feel about this? Because I think maybe we talked about the whole via the beta access with that, and now this one's literally you're paying, what was it, $14.99 a month, because that's what it is. So you can buy a game earlier, not to play a free demo. It's one thing when it's like, okay, you get free access to a demo, but cool, that's a limited time. We're talking about the actual game here.
And then there's no difference, like there's no like special bonus features that come with you getting the early. Okay, well then I don't understand. I don't see the point. Then it's like,
well, I see the point from there, and they're trying to make more money. But
14, yeah, I don't know that. I'm not a fan of that.
It's dumb. It's dumb. EA Access members get a 10-hour demo on February 15th. And yeah, it's just stupid, man. Just release the game when it's supposed to be released for everyone. That's it. Like why does there have to be a million? Like I think we talked about it last week. They released this picture of a chart of the 1,000 different ways you can get access to the game and when you can play it. And it's like, why does that even need to exist?
Yes.
The game comes out February 22nd. That should be it. That should be the end of story.
That should be for everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you're like press reviewing it, right? So you can have a review on a launch day. It should be straight up like everyone just gets the game on the same time.
No, hopefully we get really those review codes.
Yeah. Well,
I hope so.
Hopefully. Because we're all looking forward to it. I think in the next few months, my gameplay is going to be split up between Anthem and Apex Legends.
It's actually really scary. Sorry to cut you off. But it's also really scary what they're doing, EA. 'Cause they're kind of doing what they did with Titanfall 2, where they cannibalized themselves a little bit. They put out Apex so close to Anthem's release that a lot of people might just be hooked on Apex because they're like, it's free to play. Why am I just going to buy a paid game that I'll put down after a couple weeks when I could just play this free to play game forever? So it could be very similar to what happened to Titanfall 2. I think it was a Battlefield game that was coming out at the time, and they really cannibalized the release date, and that's why Titanfall 2 just didn't get too many sales because of it. So I wonder if Apex Legends could end up hurting the sales numbers for Anthem.
It's possible. I mean, definitely, look at Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of overshadowed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is, fantastic game. I think any other year it'd be like one of the games that people would be talking about. But because Red Dead came out that time, it's like, okay, it's crazy. So kind of on a related topic is Take-Two just released their earnings report for last year. They sold 23 million copies of Red Dead Redemption 2 worldwide. Their net
nuts.
Yeah, their net revenue was 1.249 billion compared to 480 million for the same quarter, not for the year, for the same quarter of 2017. Also, remember that's net revenue, not gross. That's what they're making. That's what they're taking home. But also along with that, we can talk about that as well. But related to what we just talked about with the EA Origin Access is they talked about not wanting to be exclusive to, because it offers to like the Epic Store, which is trying to compete with Steam.
Yeah,
they want their product to be available to everybody on every possible platform and distribution service. So they don't want you to be like, okay, I can only get this game from Epic. So that's kind of counter to what we were talking about with the EA Origins thing. It's not like they're making Anthem exclusive just to the EA Origin Access, but they are definitely giving better access to it, or early access, and kind of like making people like, oh, okay, I gotta go here. And you talked about the demo too, like, oh, you got to do this or that or different ways. It's like, I think Take-Two understands like, hey, just give it to everyone at the same time, everywhere possible.
Yep.
What do you guys think about one, Caboose? What do you think about the amount that they sold, and then also this news?
The sales numbers is just ridiculous. I mean, even just when they showed what the sales numbers were for the first weekend that Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, I think even that was like they turned a profit that weekend on everything they spent for Red Dead 2. So to see what it's at now is pretty nuts. I'm happy for them. It's a great game. They deserve it. I'm glad that it reached that much of an audience, which is just awesome. I'm so glad so many people were able to experience this game. And as for the exclusivity thing, that's also great that Take-Two is taking that stance on it. I've never been a huge fan of exclusivity. I understand it. And I'm kind of like, I just have to go with it at this point. It's always going to be a thing. But I'm happy that studios like this are like, you know what? We want as many people as possible to play our games. That's always a good thing. One of the biggest things that I complained about for Spider-Man was, well, why is it exclusive to PlayStation? Why would one of the biggest IPs in the world be limited to just one specific audience of people who play on PlayStation? And I'm not just saying that because like I'm an Xbox fanboy. There are plenty of people on PC as well who are missing out on that experience, And they sold a lot of PlayStations because of it. So good for them. That's it. Obviously it worked. And like I said, I understand it. I comprehend the reasoning behind it. I'm just not a fan of it. When it's a game like a Halo or a Last of Us or Uncharted, where that brand, that IP was built with those consoles, it's a little more of an understanding thing. There's a partnership that built there from the ground up. But when it's a game like Spider-Man, there's really no reason for it to be exclusive, honestly, other than, hey, we're PlayStation, we're going to make a ton of money off of it, which is fine. But either way, back to the topic at hand, I like what Take-Two is doing here. I like their stance on this here. And it can only mean good things for the future of gaming if more studios take this stance of let's make as many people as possible play our games, because then everyone gets to enjoy it.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, EA reported their preliminary results about their quarter ending last December, and they didn't meet. It's not like it was terrible, but it did not. It didn't meet their expectations. They came out and they said basically that it was a difficult quarter, and they expect that this quarter, because of Anthem and Apex Legends, that they are going to have a huge boost or whatever. So I can see that. I just wish they would lay off of this kind of trying to, almost forcing people to be like, hey, if you want to get the game early, well, then you got to subscribe to this service for $14.99. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that aspect. And, and people are very, vocal about their dislike for a lot of the microtransactions for, let's say, like Battlefront and Battlefront 2. And, we're a little skeptical with Anthem. How is that going to be? So it's just one of those things where, two of the games look like they're going to be blockbusters for EA this quarter. It's just hopefully they don't get too carried away with. Yeah. Like, I understand look, I'm not a fan of microtransactions. I can understand them to some certain level, but at the same time, you gotta keep it realistic, right? You gotta keep it where it's like, okay, you're paying for some cosmetic things. Okay, sure, but don't go crazy with it.
Yeah, I hope other people follow in Epic stores, like what they're trying to do, because it's like EA doing this thing where $14.99 without even giving any special bonus features, you can play this game early. Like, that's like if Disney or Marvel or DC or something, like, hey, if you want to see Aquaman early, even though it's coming out in a week later, you can see it early, just pay extra money. But like,
it's funny because they kind of did do that.
They do that with Blu-ray sales now.
With Aquaman, they did that with Amazon Prime. You were able to see the movie like a week early.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, people are trying to do that across the board with, like, whether it's prepaying for a Blu-ray for a movie you haven't seen yet, you're just guessing you're gonna like it. Yeah. To like you said with the Amazon Prime thing, like, yeah, it's I don't know. You can only take that stuff so far, and I think people are starting to test the limits of what people are willing to put up with.
It's really only a game like Fortnite and now with Apex Legends where stuff like microtransactions can be carried away and be totally understandable.
Because it's a free game.
Exactly. They need to be sustained somehow. If you want them to have a roadmap of 1 year worth of content and free updates, consistently adding new legends, new weapons, new loot, and updating the map, the game needs to be supported. They got to make money, and if it's free to play, there's only one avenue they could potentially make that kind of money, and that's microtransactions.
Yes, microtransactions. And then let me ask you, because I'm not a huge Fortnite player, are all the microtransactions for cosmetic stuff, or are there stuff that give you an advantage during play?
Nothing that gives you an advantage, both in Apex Legends and in Fortnite.
Okay, great. Good.
Every last dime that you spend on that game will be on cosmetics only. Okay, weapon skins, character skins, all that.
I can live with that, because then it's you're not paying for an advantage for a game. I don't like, and this was more I think with Battlefront 2, where it's like they're locking up certain characters that you'd have to pay. You know what I mean? I don't like that aspect of it. Those type of characters I feel like should just be in the game regardless. I don't mind paying for DLC that adds additional story content and cosmetic stuff. Like, while I have paid for cosmetic content before, but much more, very minimally, and for a decent price, where I'm not going to pay like $10 to $15 for like one costume or two costumes or something like that. You know what I mean?
But I'll tell you what, if the game is good, if they give me something that brings me hours of entertainment, then they've earned my money. Then they've earned the right for me to be like, okay, you know what? I'll spend $20, $30 for some cool skins.
Yeah, for free to play though. I'm talking about games that you already paid for.
For sure. But even with games that I paid for. So like if Anthem comes out and it's freaking phenomenal, 10 out of 10, incredible story, awesome end game content, I'm playing like 2 to 3 weeks nonstop, I love it. Even then I'll be like, you know what, this game has won me over, and they got a really cool item in the item shop right now, maybe I'll go ahead and pay for the microtransactions a little bit to support this game, because they plan on putting out free DLC, and they put out a freaking phenomenal product from launch, but that's a big if.
Yeah. That's if it hits all those bases, and also, like I say, no in-game, I don't like game advantage type of stuff. And keep it relatively reasonable.
For sure.
All right. That's it for the topics we have, unless you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about that popped off this week.
We had a little bit of Mortal Kombat news, some new character reveals.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, we had Cabal officially revealed through the live stream. They did the combat cast. They showed off Cabal. They showed off some of his moves. He has the craziest fatality in the game right now. I don't know if you've seen it, Dennis. No. It's nuts. So Cabal's special powers, he runs like he's super fast, right? So his fatality is he'll daze you, and then he grabs you by the foot and starts running super fast and drags you across the ground, and your face like melts, scraping across the pavement. Then he'll throw you in the air, appear on the other side, put a sword in front, and then just slices you in half. It's crazy.
It reminded me, it was like the Flash's Injustice super move, but just a rated R version.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's awesome. He has a great fatality. His character looks like a ton of fun. And then they also revealed Devora.
Okay.
Devora is returning from Mortal Kombat X. No gameplay of her. They just showed her character and her design. She looks really creepy, but in a good way. Her character is supposed to be kind of gross and weird looking. So I'm intrigued and annoying. So I'm intrigued about her returning. And then they teased next week, Thursday, I believe Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th, they are going to be doing another live stream with another new character reveal, and it will be another female character. So that's intriguing. And then some character leaks came out there. I'm going to do a little more research on that before we talk about it, but there are supposedly some character leaks on what potentially could be the full roster floating around out there.
My boy Kenshi on there, Caboose?
Not that I saw.
They put Devora, but they didn't put Kenshi. Oh,
like I said, more research needs to be done to see if the leak is legitimate or not. It's still just kind of rumor and speculation at this point, so we'll see. But there's some things going around there. So yeah.
Yeah, and we have a ton of videos that you did for Mortal Kombat 11 up on the YouTube channel. And when was the last time they put this much behind a Mortal Kombat game? When was the last time they because I mean, with the event and just the releases, there's just more buzz around this one than usual. When was the last time they really kind of went for it on the game?
I mean, if we're talking just for a time, I think the last time they really went all out, and it actually kind of backfired, was Mortal Kombat Armageddon. If anyone remembers that game, it was like one of the last games in the kind of 3D era, as the Mortal Kombat fans call it, for Mortal Kombat games. And the roster was like absolutely massive. There was upwards of, I think, like 50 to 60 characters on that roster. They had the weirdest characters ever. They had a dude in the game who was literally wearing a motion capture suit, and his name was Mocap. It was ridiculous. But yeah, that's the last time, honestly, and like I said, that was just for that time period. It was ridiculous how much they were putting into the game, that I remember them backing a Mortal Kombat game that big. So, but this is on a much bigger scale with the event, with how much money they're putting into the marketing, with how great the game looks and how well and smooth it plays. This is definitely a first, I'd say, for the franchise.
Cool. All right. So everyone, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/collidergames, and check out our cool videos. You just posted a Division 2 private beta, first impressions on there. And hopefully we'll have some more Apex Legends and Anthem stuff coming up pretty soon. All right, let's get into Twitter questions. Would you pick out, Dorian?
All right, so this is a good one since we're talking about battle royale games. The Amazing Web asks, with so many battle royale games coming, do you think we could have seen a Hunger Games video if the movie Hunger Games video game if the movie came out now? It'd be amazing to pick your own district / story, and it lends itself very well to the battle royale game mode. But I think that time has passed for them to really capitalize on it.
I think the time has passed, and also I think the nature of the movie. Not to say they wouldn't, but it almost seemed kind of barbaric because it's like kids and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think like I could see people getting upset about the game where it's like, okay, you're killing kids that didn't want to fight in this tournament anyway. Yeah, so that's one time, and two, I think because of the nature of the books and the movies, I think that probably is something they might have stayed away from.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it does. The concept, like just initial concept, like if you take off the part of like they're kids. If you just have if it was like all adults and they wanted to be there or something like that, then that would be cool.
That's different.
But I see what you're saying. With there's at like 11-year-old. I think the youngest you can have to be is like 11 to so yeah.
Unless you're playing like it's a story based game based on Hunger Games, and let's say you play as Katniss and that's maybe part of it, but it's as opposed to like it's a battle royale game. It's a bunch of kids and they're fighting to survive because if they don't, So I don't think so.
All right, next question is from Blade GTR. He says, I personally have an issue with buying games but never finishing them due to other new games coming out. Yeah. Are there any games you would like to go back and finish up?
Happens all the time.
Red Dead. I just don't have time.
You got to that game. So you have to finish that game. I mean, right now I'm dealing with that with the Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I was playing it, and then I put a good amount of hours into it, but I didn't finish it. And then Red Dead came, and then that's a long ass game. And now I'm done with it, so I'm going to go back. So I'm going to mix in some Assassin's Creed Odyssey with Apex Legends and Anthem. Yeah, I think that's the most recent one. But yeah, there's tons of games that I have.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like how many games I have or own that I never finished. Where like when I was a kid, it's like I was like dying to get the next freaking game because it's like I'm done with this one. I need to play another one. And
now it's just like slow down. Like let me catch up. Let me get a but
to be fair, when I was younger, the games were like. They're like a few hours, like you could finish the game in a few hours, like 2-3 hours, 4 hours tops or something like that. Where nowadays you're playing like a 40 to 60 hour game. It's like sucking.
It's like its own job.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Caboose. Any games that you have on that because I know you went back and finished God of War, right?
Yeah. So that's I usually tend to try and finish out the games that I start playing because I want to see them through. I want to finish the story. So there's really not one that I can think of, but I'm scared that it will happen within like these next 2 months because there's a ridiculous amount of games coming out. We got Crackdown 3, Division 2, Anthem, Apex Legends is already out. Like it's a little overwhelming. So I'm hoping I can get through all of these and at least play through the story. I know I won't be able to probably play through everything each game has to offer. But I'm hoping that I can get through enough of it to put out some good reviews for Collider Games.
Yeah. The Walking Dead Telltale series I have not finished yet.
Yeah. You know what? Then if we're talking about Telltale, definitely for me the Batman Telltale series is the one that I played the first episode. I really loved it, and ever since then, like I've been wanting to continue that Telltale series because I heard so many good things about it, even with season 2. So probably that for me is the one I want to go back to.
Yeah, I still have that, and I think Tales from Borderlands as well.
So good. That's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not even kidding. Nice. So good.
I mean, I just played Wolf Among Us last year, and I was like, wow, this game's awesome. Too.
Yeah.
It's sad that we're not going to see the sequel. All right, what's next?
Mr. Griffo90 asks, so we're all getting excited about the next-gen consoles, but what aspect would you guys like to see in the new with the new consoles include?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're looking for better graphics. It's funny, too, because like when you first get a next-gen console, you're like, one, they haven't like worked on it as much, so the graphics potential hasn't been hit yet. Like I'm thinking the generation now, like with Red Dead 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I'm sure whatever we're gonna get with like Death Stranding and Last of Us Part 2, Cyberpunk 27, like these are like gonna be like peak this generation's or whatever. But like when you first get the one, it's like it's better than the last generation, but the gap isn't that huge yet because it's like you're at the peak of the last generation, so they've gotten their thing up all the way up, and then you're just starting off on that one. So it's like one of those things where, okay, cool, we'll see the graphics like really take off a few years into the console cycle. Oh, that's one. Obviously, I'm getting really into VR now. I would wish that, obviously, they're not going to implement standard VR into every system because they know that, one, not everyone wants it and no one wants to pay for the extra cost of it. But I'd like both of them to continue. I know PlayStation had their VR. Xbox did not. I thought it was going to come with Xbox One X, but it did not. But I'm hoping there is some sort of implementation of VR into both systems in the next generation.
The main thing, but like piggybacking off of you, all of that stuff. But I just want, especially for PS4, I need or the next Sony PlayStation console, longer lasting controller life. Maybe I'm just maybe because I'm playing it a lot and running it out. But that's the biggest thing I need.
How soon does your controllers die?
I don't know, man. Like it's been a minute since I played. Maybe like a week, like couple days. If I charge it all the way up. But I've been using the Xbox and I've only had to like switch out maybe like twice switch out batteries since I've gotten it a few months ago. So
I mean, I usually keep my stuff just plugged in all the time.
Yeah,
to avoid
we're
that
not
stuff.
all responsible like
I
that.
know. Yeah, I know. But I agree. I would want longer battery life and stuff like that for the controllers. And overall, I mean, yeah, you want the general stuff like the better graphics, this, that, and the other. But one thing that I want to see more from the next generation of consoles that we're already starting to see with this generation is crossplay. And I'm talking crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. We really broke new ground. And this is another reason why, like, I'm a big fan of Fortnite. They are the first people to unite PlayStation and Xbox players for the first time ever. They had it glitched into the system once a long time ago. And ever since then, Epic has been trying to convince PlayStation to play nice because Xbox has always been about that idea. They're like, the Sony, whenever you guys are ready, like, let's get the crossplay thing going on Fortnite. And finally, that's a thing. PlayStation and Xbox users can play a game of Fortnite together whenever they want. And just recently, it was also added to Rocket League to have that functionality as well. And I think that is awesome. You're always going to have your console exclusives. There's always going to be people out there that tend to lean towards one console or the other. So there never really has to be a worry about the fact that there's going to be the crossplay maybe damaging one or the other company. Just have it in there. It's always a great feature. Wherever it can be implemented, have it in there. I'm hoping Apex Legends gets some cross-platform play in there as well very soon.
They mentioned it, so it must be in their plans.
What I'm also hoping is cross-platform progression because I'd love for all the stuff that I've done so far on my Xbox account to carry over to my PC account. But yeah, that's stuff that just... Like, we need to stop getting over the petty squabble, okay? We need to stop getting over this dumb console war and just start playing together because that is the best way to succeed is when we're both lifting each other up. So let's get some more cross-platform stuff in there, more cross-play.
You're not including PCs, are you?
Well, sure. Why not? PCs, Nintendo, like Nintendo's has been doing some really awesome things with Xbox from what I've been seeing. So that's great. PC, Nintendo. Let's let everyone play with everyone.
I just feel like it's a little bit cheating for like Fortnite, for example. Like
the mouse.
Like you can build something real quick with that mouse and
with the hotkeys and everything.
And with your controller, you can't do it as fast. So I think it's a little bit.
Huh? But what they've implemented in Fortnite, if I remember correctly, it might have changed since then. I think only in the tournament modes this isn't the case. But from what I remember, if you're playing with a controller on a PC, you'll get into lobbies with other people using controllers. Okay. Or you'll get into lobbies where it's people on Xbox or PlayStation. And then even like on PlayStation, you can plug in a mouse and keyboard and use that on Fortnite. I don't know if you know about this, but you can play mouse and keyboard on PlayStation. So people that do that, when they use mouse and keyboard on their PlayStation and search for a lobby, they'll get matched in predominantly PC-centric lobby.
Okay.
I think only in the tournament modes, this isn't the case, simply because when you go to play ranked, when you go to play tournament, regardless of what you're using, you are going in with the mindset that you're one of the better players out there and can handle whatever's coming at you. So that's why they don't implement that system there. But in normal modes, they have that.
One small thing, not small, but like I'd like to have features. I just recently over the winter break I bought the Bose QC Quiet Comfort 2s, which are Bluetooth wireless headphones, and I've been using them all the time. They're great. You pair it with my phone, my Surface Book, my desktop, whatever. I want Bluetooth on game consoles because I want to use it. I can use it in the sense of I can plug it in into the controller, but then one, it's not wireless. Two, I think the mic doesn't work because there's a mic on there that I use for phone calls, which is great. Can't use that mic. Like I'd love for it just to be connected to the console and just use it that way.
That'd be really convenient.
Yeah. So no, that would be nice.
Yeah. What's next?
All right. T-Mail24 asks, on the next hypothetical episode of Millennials Must Play, Dorian must go back and play 2 classic old school video games recommended by Dennis and Caboose.
What
2 games?
Why is Caboose like?
I know.
Caboose is younger than you. I don't understand why he's telling you to play an old game.
What 2 games would you make him play?
I would say Halo 1.
Okay.
Halo 1's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Halo 1's dope. But I'd probably go older school than that. I'm trying to think. The type of games that you'd like to play. Have you played Street Fighter?
Like the old school one?
Yeah, the old school.
Like at an arcade thing, but not actually sat down and like played it.
But which one's at the arcade? Is it Street Fighter 2? Because Street Fighter 2 is like the one that launched Street Fighter, not the first one.
It's probably Street Fighter 2.
Okay, so you've played that.
But I've played it, but I wouldn't mind revisiting it.
That was like the biggest game in the world during that time. Everybody played that game. And then when it came to Genesis and Super Nintendo, people just went ape crap over it. I'm trying to think of what's older than even that.
Any story-based games?
Story-based games.
Metal Gear, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the first Knights of the Old Republic would, but I don't know if you'd be able to handle the turn-based fighting system. They make it look like it's real-time, but it's actually turn-based.
Have you played all the Batman Arkham games, Dorian?
No, I've just played the Dark Knight. Or the
Arkham Knight.
Dark Knight.
I'm trying to think.
Try
80s
try
or
Arkham
90s.
Asylum. Yeah, well, yeah.
80s or 90s. I mean, you could play like the original. Have you played the original Super Mario Brothers?
No.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Played Sonic.
The original one?
I don't know if it was the original, but I've played Sonic.
I think my official suggestion would either be Halo 1 or Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Halo's on the Game Pass, so that might be the
the remastered.
I'll report back with the Millennials Must
Play. We'll do that up sometime. Any more questions? I've got one here, but
you can.
This comes to us from at the Amazing Web. He writes, "What would your dream Star Wars game be?" Mine would be Knights of the Old Republic 3. The first one was done by BioWare and was amazing. One of the best games, in my opinion, ever. They didn't do the second one. Obsidian did it, which I liked, but it wasn't as good as the first one. So I'd love them to actually go into the real-time combat system that they implemented for Mass Effect and Dragon Age. So BioWare, Knights of the Old Republic 3 would be my dream Star Wars game, because it'd be like it would be a story-based RPG with a very open world.
Okay, well then, I'm not the biggest fan, so Dennis, I'll play that game. But if I had to pick like what the story would be about, since I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan and I'm more familiar with the more recent movies, I would pertain to something revolving around The Last Jedi, and then this upcoming whatever the title is for episode 9.
But what type of game?
Maybe like an open world and how they whatever game they were trying to like Uncharted, how they were going to do what they were originally going to do. So if they could base it off of Uncharted, I'm all in.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan either. I've been enjoying the new films. I did watch the older ones leading up to The Force Awakens so that I'm not an idiot and I'm not fully
I haven't watched the prequels.
Unaware.
Yeah, that's okay.
I skipped out on those ones.
That's okay.
Three movies was enough for me. So for me, while I'm not super knowledgeable, I would probably still want something where we play on the villain side. You know, where we play on like the why can't I remember the name now? See, I'm totally a Star Wars newbie.
Fake fan.
Empire. But what are they called now?
Well, they're called whatchamacallit now.
The Knights of Ren?
No. They're called the First Order.
The First Order. Yeah. Some that revolves around us being a villain. I kind of liked what they were planning on doing there with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Still ended up being super predictable and you just ended up being a hero anyways. But I liked that they were playing this angle of you are a part of the First Order. You know, I love that. I thought that was super cool. So if we are to get a Star Wars game that's kind of the dream game for me, it would be definitely third person open world. And I would want to be playing, you know, alongside Darth Vader or alongside Kylo Ren, whoever it might be, you know, while I'm playing as a villain, because I think that's fun.
All right, this could be the last question. Cool. We can from Mario PR05. He asks, what are you guys' top 3 greatest story-driven games?
Top 3? I mean, Knights of the Old Republic. Definitely the first one. Red Dead Redemption 2. Ooh, the third one's tough. It might be probably Fallout 3. Fallout 3. Yeah. Those are my 3.
Red Dead 2 for sure. Last of Us and Batman Arkham City for me.
Okay. Damn. All right. So I think I'm going to go Infamous.
Nice.
Spider-Man's a story.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and then it's a toss-up between The Last of Us or... No, I think I'm going to go with The Last of Us. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Infamous, Spider-Man, The Last of Us. Those are my 3.
Cool. Nice. All right, guys. That's it for this episode of the Collider Games podcast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games, or find us on the Collider Factor feed on that podcast every week. We also have a bunch of different podcasts for our different shows like Movie Talk, Jedi Council, Heroes, a lot of sports stuff as well. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys know where to find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec, because Parks and Rec is better than The Office, but watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well. And you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks.
Caboose?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CabooseEK and right here on Collider Games.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram, Dennis.tzng. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.